Trump could have been convicted without his election, says special counsel. Biden boosts AI development in the US with new executive order. NYPD officer shoots man who approached with knife in Bronx apartment incident. Congestion pricing leads to fewer cars and faster travel times in NYC. Homicide investigation after worker found dead in ambulate in the Bronx. French ambassador meets Lebanese president ahead of Macron's visit. Major Ukrainian attack targets deep Russian sites. BCCI bears families of cricketers from tours following poor performances. Bangladesh Supreme Court acquits ex-Prime Minister Khaleda Zia in corruption case. Ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas could be finalized soon. Ukraine unleashes 1,700 drones on Ukraine this December. Brown foreman cuts jobs and closes Louisville barrel-making plant. Interim leader Muhammad Yunus calls for return of stolen billions amid corruption allegations against former Prime Minister Hasina. Good evening, I'm Munshad Muhtadi and welcome to Millennium Nightly News. Let's dive into today's details and keep you updated on the latest events around the world. Trump could have been convicted without his election, says special counsel. In a final report released by the US Justice Department, former special counsel Jack Smith stated that Donald Trump would likely have been convicted for trying to undermine the 2020 election if he hadn't won the presidency again in November 2024. Smith emphasized that the evidence against Trump was strong, but the Constitution prevents the prosecution of a sitting president. He noted that his team fully supports the case and they are built against Trump, who faced charges related to election interference and classified documents. Smith's report, which Trump's legal team tried to hide, is part of a two-volume investigation. President Joe Biden has signed an executive order aimed at speeding up the growth of artificial intelligence infrastructure in the US. The order directs federal agencies to facilitate the establishment of AI data centers and clean power facilities on government land while ensuring they meet environmental standards. The Defense and Energy departments will identify sites for private companies to build these data centers, with developers required to cover construction costs and provide sufficient clean energy to support their operations. Biden emphasizes the importance of responsible AI development to enhance national security and improve American lives without increasing electricity costs for consumers. NYPD officer shoots man who approached with knife in Bronx apartment incident. A New York City police officer shot and injured a 32-year-old man inside a Bronx apartment building after he allegedly approached the officers with a kitchen knife, having initially called 911 to report a stolen air conditioner. Security video captured the chaotic moment when, after entering the building, one officer fired her weapon as the man advanced despite commands to drop the knife. Upon arrival at the scene on 148th Street in Mott Haven, police report indicate the situation escalated rapidly, leading to the police officer's decision to use force. The man was transported to Lincoln Hospital and is expected to recover, while the NYPD is investigating whether language barriers affected the interaction's understanding as the man is Spanish-speaking. Residents report mixed experiences regarding security in the building, with the incident under further examination by the department's Force Investigation Division. Congestion pricing leads to fewer cars and faster travel times in New York City. Congestion pricing in New York City has successfully reduced traffic in its first week, with a 7.5% drop in vehicles entering the zone. MTA officials reported that travel times between Manhattan and New Jersey have decreased by 30 to 40%, especially during the morning commute. Between 475,000 and 561,000 cars crossed into the congestion zone compared to an expected 583,000. Additionally, subway ridership increased slightly, averaging 3.7 million riders from Monday to Thursday, up from 3.47 million last year. Motorists have noticed the difference, praising the reduction in congestion. Homicide investigation after worker found dead in ambulance in the Bronx. A 64-year-old worker named Peter Forrest was found dead in a private ambulance bus in Castle Hill, the Bronx, on Monday morning. Emergency responders pronounced him dead at the scene after discovering trauma all over his body. The incident occurred at 201 Castle Hill Avenue, just before 10:30 a.m. Police are treating the case as a homicide. The ambulance company, Marcus Ambulance, is cooperating with the investigation, but the cause of death has yet to be determined. French ambassador meets Lebanese president ahead of Macron's visit. On January 14, 2025, French ambassador Hervé Maigret met with Lebanese President Joseph Aoun at the presidential place in Baada to prepare for President Emmanuel Macron's coming visit to Lebanon. Maigret stressed the importance of the visit and expressed Macron's concerns for the current situation in Lebanon. The meeting also covered ongoing Israeli violations in southern Lebanon, where over 520 incidents have been reported since October 2023, resulting in significant casualties. Macron's visit will be the first by a foreign head of state following Aoun's recent election, which ended a 2-year political vacuum. Brown-Forman cuts jobs and closes Louisville barrel-making plants. Brown-Forman Corporation, the parent company of Jack Daniels, is cutting about 12% of its global workforce and shutting down its barrel marketing place in Louisville. The decision affects approximately 210 employees and aims to save $70 million to $80 million annually amid challenges in the whiskey market. The company plans to source barrels from external suppliers and expects to gain over $30 million by selling its co-operative assets. The plant closure is set for April 25th. Major Ukrainian attack targets deep Russian sites. Ukraine has launched its most extensive attack of the war, hitting ammunition depots and chemical plants across several Russian regions, some over 700 miles from the border. Ukrainian officials claim this strike is a significant blow to Russia's military capabilities. Russia responded by shooting down some missiles, but acknowledged damage to multiple facilities and transport disruptions, including school closures. In retaliation, Russia launched numerous drones at Ukraine, although most were intercepted. Meanwhile, President Zelensky emphasized the need for more military support from allies to sustain Ukrainian force on the ground. We'll be right back after a short break. I'm Munshat Muhtadi. Keep watching Millennium Nightline News. Tune in every night at 10 p.m. for Millennium Nightline News with Munshat Muhtadi on Millennium News 24. Get the latest updates from around the world, including breaking news, in-depth reports, and exclusive stories, all delivered with integrity, professionalism, and a commitment to the truth. Whether covering local events, international affairs, or cultural highlights, Munshat provides comprehensive coverage, ensuring you are always informed and connected. With a focus on accuracy and global perspectives, Millennium News 24 is your trusted source for news that matters. From diverse communities to world-changing stories, we bridge gaps and bring you the most relevant updates. Stay updated by following us on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Millennium News 24. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, Millennium News 24. You can also watch us on Android, iOS devices, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Horizon Satellite. Enjoy entertainment and the latest news with us. Download the Millennium News 24 and Millennium TV 24. Our websites are millenniumnews24.com and millenniumtv24.com. Stay ahead of the curve with Millennium Nightline News, only on Millennium News 24 because the truth matters. Welcome back after the break. I'm Munshad Muhtadi and you're watching Millennium Nightline News. Interim leader Muhammad Yunus calls for return of stolen billions amid corruption allegations against former President Hasina. Bangladesh interim leader Muhammad Yunus has demanded the repatriation of billions of dollars in stolen assets, condemning the extensive corruption during the tenure of ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who fled to India after a revolution in August 2024. Yunus highlighted the significant financial deficit attributed to the alleged theft of public funds, stating that these resources rightfully belong to the Bangladeshi people and are crucial for the nation's economic stability. He indicated that the Anti-Corruption Commission is investigating Hasina and her family, including British lawmaker Tulip Siddiq, for embezzlement linked to a Russian-funded nuclear power plant and land acquisitions in Dhaka. Siddiq, who recently resigned from her position, denied any wrongdoing, but Yunus suggested she should seek forgiveness from the Bangladeshi public now that she is aware of the questionable origins of her wealth. Russia unleashes 1,700 drones on Ukraine this December. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022, drones have become crucial in the conflict. Although unmanned aerial vehicles have existed for some time, their significance has increased dramatically during the war. In December alone, Russia launched 1,700 attack drones against Ukraine. This shift highlights the evolving tactics used by both sides in the ongoing battle. Ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas could be finalized soon. High-level negotiations for a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas are picking up speed as US officials express optimism that an agreement could be reached by the end of the week. Mediators from Qatar and Egypt have presented a final draft to both sides, and officials believe a deal hinges on Hamas approval within the next 24 hours. President Biden emphasized the significance of this potential agreement in a recent speech, while Trump noted that discussions are advancing. However, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu faces strong opposition to any deal from within his coalition. Bangladesh Supreme Court acquits ex-Prime Minister Khaleda Zia in corruption case. In a significant legal turnaround, Bangladesh Supreme Court has acquitted former Prime Minister Khaleda Zia in a 2008 corruption case, reversing a prior 10-year prison sentence for misappropriating funds intended for orphans during her tenure from 2001 to 2006. This ruling, delivered by a 5-judge panel led by Chief Justice Syed Rafat Ahmed, also absolved Zia's son, Tariq Rahman, and all other defendants linked to the case. Zia's legal firm expressed hope that the verdict could enable her to participate in the upcoming parliamentary elections, as the BNP maintains that the charges against her were politically motivated. The acquittal follows Zia's recent medical treatment in London and her release from house arrest in the wake of political upheaval following the resignation of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Let's have a glance at the world of sports. NFL Power Rankings. Ravens challenge Bills as divisional round approaches. The NFL playoffs have reached the divisional round, leaving just 8 teams in contention. Following a thrilling wild-card weekend, the Baltimore Ravens are hot on the heels at the Buffalo Bills in the Power Rankings. This weekend promises exciting matchups, including the Texans visiting the Chiefs who are seeking to return to form, and the Lions hosting the up-and-coming Commanders led by Jaden Daniels. With most teams now in off-season mood, all eyes are on the battles ahead, setting the stage for some high-stakes football that fans won't want to miss. BCCI bars families of cricketers from tours following poor performance. In a surprising move, the Board of Control for Cricket in India has prohibited Indian cricketers' families from accompanying them on tours after dismal performances in recent series against New Zealand and Australia. The decision follows a 0-3 Test series loss at home to the Kiwis and a 1-3 defeat in the Border Gavaskar Trophy. This new measure, decided in a recent meeting with board officials and team leaders, reinstates a rule that was suspended during the COVID-19 pandemic. Families will only be permitted to stay for 2 weeks on longer tours and a week on shorter ones. Additionally, players are now required to travel only on the team bus to promote unity among the squad. Man United eye Neen as Rashford replacement. Manchester United are reportedly considering FC Salzburg winger Neen Dorgeles as a potential replacement. Thank you for staying with Rashford, who could to stay updated with the latest news on our social media platforms. Talks about Facebook, Twitter, who has Instagram, 6 goals and TikTok, 6 assists this season. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Meanwhile, News 24 is you can watch as on Android and iOS devices, as well as on Apple TV, Roku TV, and Fire TV, as on satellite TV, and all smart TVs. Additionally, at the Manchester City, enjoy entertainment and the latest news with us. Unrushed, download the Millennium TV apps. Millennium TV USA for Android, also Millennium News on Google. Primaries Victor Rice. Thank you for being a part of Millennium News 24. And thanks again for staying with us. I'm Wolverhampton. Stay tuned for the next games. Have a good night. Wolves are reluctant to sell any key players mid-season. Now let's take a closer look at the weather trends and what you can expect as you plan your day ahead. Stay tuned for all the details. Let's have a glance at the headlines one more time. Trump could have been convicted without his election, says special counsel. Biden boosts AI development in the US with new executive order. NYPD officer shoots man who approached with knife in Bronx apartment incident. Congestion pricing leads to fewer cars and faster travel times in NYC. Homicide investigation after worker found dead in ambulate in the Bronx. French ambassador meets Lebanese president ahead of Macron's visit. Major Ukrainian attack targets deep Russian sites. BCCI bears families of cricketers from tours following poor performances. Bangladesh Supreme Court acquits ex-Prime Minister Khaleda Zia in corruption case. Ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas could be finalized soon. Ukraine unleashes 1,700 drones on Ukraine this December. Brown foreman cuts jobs and closes Louisville barrel making plant. Interim leader Muhammad Yunus calls for return of stolen billions amid corruption allegations against former Prime Minister Hasina. Thank you for staying with me. Log in to stay updated with the latest news on our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Millennium News 24. Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel, Millennium News 24. You can watch us on Android and iOS devices, as well as on Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Horizon Satellite TV, and all smart TV platforms. Enjoy entertainment and the latest news with us. Download the Millennium TV apps, Millennium TV USA for Android, and Millennium News on Google. Thank you for being a part of Millennium News 24. Thanks again for staying with us. I'm Munshat Muhtadi. Stay tuned for the next news. Have a good night.